Hello there, welcome to the Quarter to 3 live stream for the winner of Request Wednesday, Sunless Skies. I realize this is a terrible game to be live streaming because it's spring break. Did you guys know that? Are y'all off on spring break? We should be live streaming Beach Spikers, great volleyball game, or a Wave Rider. Wave Riders? Yeah, there's a jet ski game on the N64. Perfect for spring break. But nope, we're playing Sunless Skies, which I'm okay with. Oh, am I getting some echo here? Sorry. Alright, there, echo off. I'm Tom Chick. I do this for you guys on Wednesday. I do this for me as well. I enjoy it. On Wednesdays, Fridays, and Mondays, looping back around to the beginning of the week, you see, at 6 p.m. Pacific. Richard Holt says he's only going to watch a bit of the stream, both to avoid spoilers, but we all know it's so he can play Warhammer. Richard Holt, I've decided I'm going to go ahead and start a new game, specifically for that reason. Yeah, I dove into it for the first time last night, and was like, yeah, I kind of hate to spoil some of this, so I'm just going to show you guys the opening of Sunless Skies. So this will be safe, if you're worried about spoilers, which you should be in a game like this. This game also reminds me, if you want this kind of gameplay for narrative, creating a character, exploring a world, as if you were reading a book, this is perfect for that, like Cultist Simulator. But if you want something like this, because a lot of people complained about Sunless Seas and how it didn't have, for some people, the gameplay didn't work so well. They loved the writing, of course. Who doesn't? It's fail better games. But if you want gameplay in this kind of gameplay where you have a character and you just explore a systems-based universe, let me tell you, a game just got an update yesterday. Star Frontiers Traders. No, Traders. Star Traders Frontier. Shoot a monkey. Star Traders Frontiers. Yeah, did I get it right the first time? I was playing this last night thinking of Star Traders Frontier. Star Frontier. Yeah, Star Traders Front. What do they do? So they're trading it among the stars, but they're doing it on the frontier. Star Traders Frontiers. All right. The Tracy Brothers game. It's an example of this kind of gameplay, but you can't be in it for the writing. You have to be in it for the systems. Because that game is so cool, and I've only recently realized this, for how differently it unfolds based on how differently you approach it with the different roles and characters. Like playing as a smuggler is very different from playing as a pirate, or playing as a naval guy, or a diplomat, or a trader. Um, Trader. So we're just going to go into this from the beginning. I'm going to show you. There's going to be a lot of reading. You know, it's fail better games. You know to expect that. Now, am I going to overwrite my saved game? Which I think I'm okay with. Oh, ooh, you guys ready for me to rage a little bit? Hold on. This is going to require a sip of espresso. By the way, I kind of feel this should be tuned one way or the other, but I understand that was one of the issues people had with Sunless Seas. I wonder if I should just go in and get my first captain killed. I don't think that'll do anything, though, unless the captain accrues enough wealth or stuff, unless he has something to bequeath to a successor. So we're just going to start a legacy campaign. Okay, look at this. Yep, fail better games cannot be arsed to tune their own gameplay. They'd like me to do it for them. Look at this. I get to decide how long some, like, really? Really fail better? You want me to do this? This game cost $29.99, and I still have to finish it. I still have to do the fundamental job of deciding the economy in this game, of tuning the economy. So annoying. Really, like this also. I have to decide, okay, you can't make this part of your game design? Alright. Alright, that's enough of that. So, I think, was it where it started? Yeah, my policy here, just don't touch it. I mean, you guys are calling this normal, whatever. I don't know how I feel about that, though. McMaster wants to know if he should get World War Z. The thing about World War Z, it is nice to see a Left 4 Dead game with contemporary graphics and technology. And there's a nice progression system in World War Z that, Left 4 Dead, when they made that, people didn't care about progression in online games. They do now. And you can also progress, by the way, for the it's got the multiplayer in that is trash. It's well, not trash. If you're in a just PvP shooter multiplayer, World War Z has got that for you. But the co-op stuff is cool, of course, and you can just play offline with bots and still advance in the co-op progression. I like that a lot. Joshua Marshall's World War Z PC game. It is Joshua Marshall PC and the console systems, the major console systems, by which I mean the PlayStation 4 and that other thing that a few of you jokers have. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't read you guys. It was worth reading, by the way, because it was like the final words of a SkyTrain captain. So here we are coming back from the Blue Kingdom. Return to the Reach, an untamed, sunless span of the heavens. London's new frontier, a celestial garden run wild. You should hear the game more than you should hear me. And I love this music. I've also been listening to it a lot, so that's part of why I love it. I should just shut up. Your journey back from the Blue Kingdom was what? I didn't read it. That's on me. So here's the captain of the ship. This is not me. As first officer, the crew looks to you. The nearest station is New Winchester. You get the Orpheon there safely. Yeah, one Xbox EX, Richard Holt. I think that's that Microsoft system that some people have, because they don't know any better. Much to the relief of your stokers, you find a barrel of fuel, the detritus. A wreck drifts here, less fortunate even than you. We should scavenge her for repairs, a crewman suggests. It's the Ozymandias. The wreck hangs in the sky, pocked with recent gunfire. You and the boarding party don your sky suits, garments of waxed canvas, lined with felt to protect against the cold of the sky. Two of the crew are whispering as they dress. What business did Captain Whitlock have in the Blue Kingdom anyway? Why the devil do we trespass in the districts of the dead? You silence him. Now is not the time. Because I'm first officer. If I tell him to stow it, he has to do that. We're gonna, this orange text, it's not immediately clear. I mean, there's no way past this without figuring it out. It's a choice you make. You click on this. So we're gonna leap across to the wreck. The gap between the two engines isn't wide, but the endless fathoms of heaven gape beneath it. Duck Helmet wants to know if I read comic books. I do not, Duck Helmet, because I am no longer 14 years old. Richard Hulse, this is like Tom reading him a bedtime story. Joshua Marshall says he believes he'll get World War Z because he's also on spring break. Joshua Marshall, if you do, in the words of Val Kilmer, I'm your Huckleberry. Leading the way. You jump. Your stomach lurches with vertigo as the stars blaze above you and below. The air of the heavens is thin and torn by unpredictable winds. Then your boots hit the running board of the Ozymandias, and your leather-gloved hands fumble for a hold. One of your companions throws you a line, and you lash the two engines together. Only then do the rest of the boarding party follow you. One of them forces open an exterior hatch, and you clamber inside. Her interior is cold, unlit, and whistles with wind. Your party's lamps spread buttery light over the narrow paneled passages. You make your way towards the hold, stepping over bodies crumpled in the corridor. Unfortunately, your way is blocked. A bulkhead has been mangled inward by a well-aimed barrage. Alright, I want to say, there's... I apologize in advance for what I'm about to subject you guys to. There's a Stephen King short story called, it's the one where the bad beer turns the guy into a bundle of mold. What is it called? Gray Matter. I think it's called Gray Matter. It's in Night Shift. And you can show me a paragraph of anything Stephen King has written, and within that paragraph, I can point out to you why he's a lousy writer. And I say why he's he does a lot of work, and he can come up. He's imaginative, sure, but as far as writing, I don't think Stephen King is very good, and it's super easy for me to point out. And gray matter, and this is my example here. I think it's called gray matter. In the very opening bits of gray matter, somebody comes in from a snowstorm. Door opens. I think they're at a diner or something like that, and someone comes in from a snowstorm, and Stephen King has some line about, you know what? I should look it up. Yeah, I don't want to dwell too much on this, but it's some line about how the door opens and the gray air swirls in. Gray air. Really, Stephen King? Gray air. Huh. Not sure what to make of that. Bad writing or good writing? Bad writing. Gray air. Pfft. Here, because air isn't any color. That's just dumb. Here, however, buttery light. Bad writing or good writing? Good writing. Because light has a color. Air doesn't have a color. You don't say gray air. Light has a color, and buttery clearly implies like it's the bright, warm yellow of a lamp or something. So, at any rate, just buttery light struck me in a way that gray air doesn't. Ugh. Vinwraith says they're in the same class from where I sit. Vinwraith, they're both kind of purple prose, but gray air doesn't make any sense. It's just some dude throwing words together because he thinks, incorrectly, that they work well together. Jason McMaster tells me to calm down. Alright. Let's clear the obstruction away. You locate a length... Oh, or I could lead my party on a more precarious path. They're both die rolls. I actually don't know what my stats are. Oh, wait, let's see. 75% chance of success. Yeah, so I haven't really started my character yet, so I don't know if this is sort of feeling me out to see if I want more of a brawn or stealth roll, but let's choose stealth. Lead your party on a more precarious path. Go back out onto the Ozymandias' hull, climb past the blockage, and enter through a window on the far side, and do so carefully. And I'm using a roll against veils, which is the skill of deceiving and evading. Oh, I click. Remember, you click there. That's the choice you're making. The rest of the boarding party follow you without enthusiasm. You recall the first time you climbed outside an engine, helping the captain fix a leak in an exterior pipe. The wind had shrieked, buffeting at you. You asked the captain what would happen if you slipped. You fall, she answered tersely. But where to? You asked. She looked down, then up, then back. The sky's depths spiraled all about you. Away, she said, and you heard her fear. Back in the present, you tumble back into the Ozymandias through a shattered window, your party spilling after you, glad to be back inside. You've reached the Ozymandias' hold, a ruin of smashed cargo and spilled supplies. Hopefully somewhere amidst the detritus, you can find parts to repair the Orpheon and restock your stores. So we're going to conduct a thorough research. Your companions work quickly. The Ozymandias' hull has begun to creak. Your actions on board may have compromised its integrity. Speaking of compromised integrity, you guys going to watch the 9:30 a.m. William Barr press conference tomorrow? The Mueller report. Before you pass any judgment, though, make sure to wait for the Giuliani counter report. We want to hear from both sides. Sorry, I went there. You find enough food and gear to restock your supplies, and enough spare parts to make necessary repairs to the Orpheon. The food will need to be thoroughly thawed, of course, but you've eaten worse in the skies. Oh-ho, cries one of your party, prying the lid off a long crate. It holds a cannon, still nestled in straw. Another crewman pulls a battered bird cage from a pile of ruined cargo. Within the cage, something winged and furred opens a sullen eye. You examine your finds. So we have 4 supplies. Gained 15 hull points. Wait, where does it tell us about? Well, yeah, here we go. The Ozymandias emits a long, juddering creak. I love the word judder. Scud and judder are both fun words. They should be used more often. Your boarding party exchange nervous glances. From the chaos of its hold, you have retrieved repairs and supplies and discovered some useful equipment. A gun that could be mounted on your locomotive, and an educated bat. So this is teaching us that just because you pick something, they're not always mutually exclusive. Sometimes you can do them one at a time. It's telling us you can claim both this and both the bat and the cannon. So we're going to mount the Jerusalem cannon on the Orpheon. Her own weapons were damaged during the flight from the Blue Kingdom. That leaves us vulnerable. Fire and Fury. The Cotterall and Hathersage Jerusalem, I love those names, fires single shells to a good range, more or less accurately. You order 2 of your party to get it back to your vessel and fit it immediately. The Ozymandias groans again. The structure shudders spasmodically. We now have a Cotterall and Hathersage Jerusalem. I thought it was an educated bat. Here it's a diffident bat. Diffident means like shy or retiring. Let's liberate it and employ it as a scout. The heavens are wide, so locomotives use scouts, like bats, to locate things of interest, ports, resources, wrecks, like this one, to scavenge. Also a part of Sunless Skies. Wait, wasn't that a bat you would send out? Yeah. Like a Z-bat or something? The bat treats its rescue as an inconvenience and immediately begins haggling over pay. What? You can't pay a bat. You offer to put it back in its damn cage and leave it on the Ozymandias, at which point it becomes more polite. You doubt it will last. We now have a diffident bat. The Ozymandias emits a long generator. Oh, right, we got that part. So let's press on to the engine room. You might find more fuel there, but we better hurry. The Ozymandias is beginning to tear apart. These are the Lycons that give you tooltips for what's going on. Let's press on to the engine room. The wreck of the Ozymandias screeches as its metal buckles and tears. You press on through the shuddering corridors, searching frantically for the engine room. Excuse me, I had to cough. We can send a smaller party ahead to retrieve fuel, or we can go ahead ourselves and conduct a hasty search. There's a 49% chance of succeeding if we send a party ahead, and a 49% chance of succeeding if I go myself. So is this going to be a lawful good playthrough or a bad playthrough? We're going to send our crew ahead, or are we going to go for it? We're going to do it. Of course, it's our first time. We're doing the good playthrough. Outsby says that gray air was also used by a known terrible writer, James Joyce. See, James Joyce, though, was like prose jazz. James Joyce was all about just doing funky things with words. Stephen King thought that he was... when Stephen King says gray air, he's proud of himself. When James Joyce does it, and actually, is that true? I would be curious, is that really, like, can you Google James Joyce gray air and find that it was used? Because James Joyce, when he did it, it was just part of his structure and his playing around. It's like if you give a little child a trumpet, and you say, here child, play this trumpet, and the child makes the trumpet make terrible noise, and thinks he's played music, and he beams proudly at you while he's making a racket with the trumpet. That child might replicate some of the same notes that an accomplished jazz player would play. That does not mean that the child is playing good jazz. So there, Outsby. That was Outsby on Twitch, by the way. So you guys on YouTube, miss it. All right, we're gonna go ourselves. Send the rest of the boarding party back to the Orpheon. Go on alone. Oh, whoa. Well, we failed. The engine room is gray with spilled ash and littered with corpses. Little has survived the Ozymandias' ruin. You search fruitlessly for coal, but linger too long. As the wreck is racked with final violent tremors, you race back to the Orpheon. With a dying groan, the Ozymandias splits in two, sending shards of its splintered plating spinning into the sky. Several of them bite into the Orpheon, mauling its hull. Stoking your engines, you steam away from the collapsing wreck. You are restocked, at least, and rearmed. And we lost 10 hull. We're down to 20. I guess from 30. Gray silence, I'm okay with, Joshua Marshall. I'm okay with juxtaposing color with something that's not visual. Like evoking color for its emotional value. Not what Stephen King was doing when he talks about gray air. Ugh. Christy Gaines just read The Road. tough way to read the road. I'm gonna be so bummed when Cormac McCarthy dies. Why am I even saying that? What? It's a terrible thing to even think about. Scout bat. I don't think in Sunless Seas it used up supplies when you sent the scout bat out. It does here. So we can do this. Now here's Winchester Station, or New Winchester. Here's where we got to get to. Here's where we are. Summoned by Captain Whitlock. See, I'm just the first officer here. I'm not in charge. Jason McMaster loves Blood Meridian. Christy Gaines, All the Pretty Horses is so good, but the road just never stops. Joshua Marshall, I read The Road when my son was 4. Tough one. Outsby is impressed with my insight into the intent of both James Joyce and Stephen King. Outsby, fair enough. Maybe Stephen King has a healthy amount of self-doubt. Somehow I suspect that's not the case. But you're right. I shouldn't assume that he was mighty proud of himself when he came up with gray hair. Here's tutorial stuff. The walls of the captain's cabin are lined with a hodgepodge of curios from across the sky. Captain Whitlock lies in bed. Black marks cover her skin like a monstrous brand. When she coughs, coils of acrid smoke pour from her lungs. We can inquire after her injuries, or we can approach the bedside. Let's go straight to her. The captain opens her eyes as you draw near. She attempts to smile. Her mouth is blistered from the blue fires that dance on her tongue. Her hand grips your arm. Her skin is hot as a kettle. Made arrangements. The Orpheon will be yours. Her voice is just a rasp of burned meat breath. But promise. She breaks off to scream a word in a language that wasn't made for human mouths. When she resumes speaking English, she's weaker. Her request little more than a gasp. Promise me one last service. Promise. So we can promise her, or we can make no promise. We can pull away. What if her condition is contagious? Or we can demand to know why she went to the Blue Kingdom in the first place. We're going to be, this is our good playthrough, remember? Promise her you will obey her last command. Whatever it is, you'll see it done. She sinks back, relieved. All in my will, she gasps. Be a better... She breaks off as the sigils burned into her bones flare, glowing cherry red through her flesh and skin. Be a better captain than I. The effort exhausts her. She sinks back into the scorched pillows in a twisting, frantic fever. Take your leave. We have an engine to command. You leave the cabin in the scorched stink of its air behind and return to the bridge. New Winchester is further than you'd like, and the captain hasn't long left. That's our Jerusalem cannon. Okay, here's something that bugged me, and... Okay, wait, I think I have to fight here. Pretty good for having the auto aim turned off, right? We've defeated a Reach Marauder. You approach the buckled wreckage, poised to plunder the plunderers. Behind you, someone is humming a song of victory. Recover its weaponry, raid the remains, strip it for repairs. The bridge is in ruin, the hold is crumpled, but its main gun has survived. An engineering crew could remove it. Raid the remains for stolen valuables, or strip it for repairs, which will give us... Oh, I see, we just can't be at full health to do this. I think we want that gun. This will give you a small weapon you can equip while in dock, or sell to an equipment shop. Your crew return in one piece, and bearing the spoils of your victory. It's a right devil to remove, Captain, says the lead engineer. Hope you make good use of it. The Marauder cannon launches chunks of jagged, superheated rock via a brutally basic mechanism. Simple, ruthless, effective. We've got a reclaimed, a Marauder mangonel. Look at our inventory. So our current gun, damage 10, 750, heat 30. Alright, what's the other thing? Where's our loot? Nope. Here it is. Yeah, look at that. Way more heat. Oh, this must be heat down here. But 25 damage versus 10. I like that. Your officers use this tab will import. Oh, this is telling me about these tabs because I hit them. Alright, so this I don't like. So you're constantly having to hit the tab to look at the map. It actually wasn't like that. I mean, I guess you could remember. Distant clamor of engines yards. An accretion of smog on the windows. Oops. 512 XP. The crew are eager to see what this is. Arrival at New Winchester. You coast into the bustle, the din, the soot, and the steam of Wolvesey Station. I never know how much the British care about their syllables. A lot of times you say something in British, and they just ignore a bunch of it. Like Leicester. How's that Leicester? It's Leicester Square. And they're just like, nah, we're just going to gloss over and call it Leicester Square. We're still going to spell it with a bunch of vowels in there. And a stray C. Which is Leicester Square. You coast into the bustle, the din, the soot, and the steam of Wolvesey Station. It's clogged with other engines, scrappy mining locomotives from Lustrum Way, weathered explorers gleaming with frost, sleek company vessels with bright brass fittings. No sooner have you pulled into the sidings than a brusque station master bustles over. You request to come aboard. I must speak with your captain, he insists, brandishing a ledger. The usual formalities. Our only option is to look to the Orpheon's doctor. The doctor's just appeared at our shoulder. His face is solemn. His hat in his hands. He lowers his eyes. The crew exchange bleak, wordless looks. The Orpheon itself feels suddenly more empty. The station master looks confused. You inform him that, unfortunately, Captain Whitlock has just passed. Ah, he says neutrally. Sorry to hear that. Very sad, very sad. He waits for what he considers an appropriate minute and a half before continuing. Alas, even amidst tragedy, the cogs of bureaucracy must turn. If Captain Whitlock is deceased, the station authority require their answers from the first officer. He dons a set of spectacles and locates his pen. It will be relatively painless. Name, background, purpose of the visit, etc. Shall we begin? Let's roll up a character. Look at all these things we can be. Today, London lies between the stars. Her new empire unfolds across the heavens. But 10 years ago, before the Northern Gate was opened, before the renewed Empress led her people into the skies, it lay in a vast cavern far beneath the earth, deep, dark, marvelous. Who were you then? So I guess this is a spoiler from Sunless Skies. A street urchin, a soldier, a poet, an academic, a priest, a sailor, a ministry auditor, or a revolutionary. And then down here in italics, it tells you the gameplay implications. Do we want veils, mirrors, iron, hearts, more mirrors? Oh wait, you'll begin with high mirrors if you're an academic. Begin with high mirrors. Oh, okay, so I guess there's... Well, I'm sure there's more, there's like story stuff too that comes into play. Heart, so basically veils, iron, hearts, or mirrors. Which one do we want? Let's just choose it. Wait, should I click random? That can't be good. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna click it. Maybe it'll let me back up if I don't like what happens, but I'm gonna click it. Oh, good. Oh, good, okay. So we've randomly rolled a smuggler Z-captain who desires wealth. So these must be the stats. Iron hearts, veils, or no, mirrors and veils. I think I'll go with this. What is this picture? Name Hobkirk. I kind of like this. Is that a top knot? If this is a dude, that's annoying. Alright, let's go with this. Chris Hornbostel says he took an academic. Yeah, Academics are good because then you can, especially if you like the lore in a game. Alright, we're going with this. Chris Hornbustle, how far have you gotten into this? Like, very far? 3 weeks have passed. It's like a title card. It says 3 weeks later. This morning, Captain Whitlock received a simple memorial service. Her body was consigned to a necropolis train bound for the serene mausoleum. Now you sit, with a handful of her relatives, in the threadbare offices of her solicitors. A methodical notary is reading the will. The captain was wealthy, once, but squandered her capital on mysterious expenses before her expedition to the Blue Kingdom. The captain's relatives, from whom she was mostly estranged, are clearly wondering why you're here. In a final codicil, the notary announces, Captain Whitlock confirmed that possession of the Orpheon was to pass to its first officer. He peers at you with dry gray eyes. This includes a certain black box contained in the Orpheon's hold. Captain Whitlock's final request was that, at the time of your choosing, you transport said box to an address in London. He hands you an address card. And deposit it there. You are not to look inside. She gave no explanation. And that's it. You're captain now. The Orpheon is yours. We can investigate the black box at New Winchester, or we could take it back to London. We could sell it. Here's our black box. And we have 100 sovereigns. Or codicil. What did I say? Codicil? Codicil? I don't even... It's like a... Just put appendix. Edit. The clamoring central station of New Winchester. Wolvesey Station. A place of steam and smut and thundering iron. Here, you can find people willing to play for a skilled captain's service. Alright, we have smoggy, clanking, singing, stamping, thronging, frantic heart of the Reach is New Winchester. An ever-expanding port of soot-smudged glass and bright steel. Spilling across a drifting, mist-wrapped... I'm going to do this on purpose, just because I enjoy it much more this way. Spilling across a drifting, mist-wrapped archipelago. It's much softer to say it that way. Archipelago... An arc is a boat. An archipelago is something like curved and soft. Waves lap up against it. Its factories thunder, its engine sheds ring with hammers and hiss with steam. Locomotives chug into sidings for repair. Speaking of locomotives, you guys seen Train Valley 2? I normally am not into puzzle games, but that's just very relaxing. Locomotives chug into sidings for repair or flare across the sky and away into the high wilderness. An opportunity to learn about trading. What is this? We pay. Unlocked when you don't have... Oh, yeah, okay. So this is just once we've got it, once we've picked up this opportunity, we can't do it again, basically. It's tutorial stuff. Visit the Promise of Days, a club where seasoned captains gather to trade stories and share advice. Inquire about the Winchester War. So this is kind of lore stuff, and it also gives you like some early quest things. So I'm just going to run through this. You talk to characters, they give you some information, which is worth reading. It's cool lore stuff. This guy with his rat on his shoulder, the what is he, masked stranger or something like that. Actually, I don't know if I have to, like... It's one of those things where I feel like I should click on anything, everything. So if I don't click on something, maybe it won't unlock something in the story. Oh, this one I actually did have to click on. Alright, so they're telling me about the first quest. Go to Port Avon to buy seeds, and then sell them at Magdalen. Port Avon... Avon? Port Avon is to the east, and then Magdalen is to the southeast. You know, does this do a thing where there's like a tile-based map is kind of shuffled up each time you play? Because last time I'm pretty sure the place I was supposed to carry the seeds was to the west-southwest, it said. Alright, so we want to go to the bazaar and get that. It's called a prospect, but it's basically a... I've done all this, right? It's basically a mini quest kind of thing. A trade quest. Alright, we'll go to the shops, go to the bazaar. Seeds from Magdalene. Claimed. Oh, they want seeds as well. Wait, I'm going... Oh, right. So the quest here is to sell them the seeds, and I guess the quest here is to buy the seeds. Okay, wait, hold on. Seeds for Magdalene's versus seeds for Port Avon. Magdalene's provides comfort and sympathy to the weary skyfarer. Its hosts will tell you any lie you need to hear. Some of those lies require flowers. The amenable host wants up to 3 sacks of verdant seeds, and they'll pay 80 sovereigns for each. Whereas at Port Avon, attention, the annual allotment competition looms on Port Avon. Up to 3 sacks of verdant seeds required urgently. Delivered to the vicar at the Nowhere Inn as soon as possible, if not before. Well, I'm going there to pick up seeds and deliver seeds? Alright. I mean, I'll do it. Only got 100 sovereigns, though. I don't know how much I can do. Whoops. Okay, we go here. Where could I buy seeds, actually? I don't know, at the bazaar, I bet. That's where I just was. Oh, no, so I think here at New Winchester you can sell stuff. I don't think you really buy stuff. So here's equipment. Oh, and we want to mount that really cool mangonel that we got. We also want to probably spend money on this. I don't have a sense for supply and fuel usage here. Basically because there's nothing consistent. Like, I'm the... Yeah, I'm in charge of what this means, because fail better can't be bothered. So I set these to normal. I don't really know how that's going to work out. Alright, so let's just... oh, yeah, okay, well, let's go... Is it here? And do we just... Oh! Did it automatically get mounted? Sweet. So can we sell the... Oh, so these are all, like, trade goods, right? Sunless Skies and Fallen London just had crazy amounts of different things you could trade in different currencies. I imagine a lot of that has been streamlined down to probably this list. A jumble of undistinguished souls. Ministry-approved literature. The Gourd of Chorister Nectar. Pane of Stained Glass. A roll of Thirsty Bombazine. Caged Catch. The most precious thing here are casks of Navratine gemstones. Alright, let's go to... see if we can sell this, which we can, for 50 gold. Actually, can you mount 2 weapons? Maybe we should do that. Yeah. What is this? Oh. Wait. I don't have to buy them. These are the things I'm delivering? I thought I had to go buy them somewhere. Okay, I mean, I'm okay with that. If they just want me to truck it over there, that's perfect. But see, I don't... Hold. It sells for 40, but I have 0... Maybe that's just an indicator. Hold on. Is this just indicating a mission? Okay, yeah, shoot. So these aren't things I can drag around. Alright, those aren't items. I do have to buy the seeds. Chris Hornboss, I'll have 2 weapons forward. Yeah! I'm gonna shoot the heck out of something. Alright, it's to the east, right? Let's see. What are the hotkeys for the journal? J, I'm guessing. Sweet. I for inventory? Oh, wait. No. H for hold? Hold, right. Magdalene's to the southeast, and then Port Avon is east. Alright. You know, I think this is exactly like it was. Outsby says that D.H. Lawrence, Thomas Hardy, Edith Wharton, and Emile Zola have all used the word gray air, the phrase gray air. He says he suspects Stephen King may have picked it up somewhere. Excuse me, I'm going to need some context for that. I need you to cite each passage. Bancroft's Forum. So I think these are just landmarks. Oops. What have I done? These are just landmarks, and you get XP when you discover them. I don't like that exclamation point there. It makes me think I forgot something. Vinwraith says, oh, if Thomas Hardy used it, then that definitely makes my point, because Thomas Hardy was a terrible writer. Wasn't Thomas Hardy's first language not English? I'm thinking of Joseph Conrad, right? Loot. And creative supplies, although actually I'll take it. Someone look that up for me. Am I right about Joseph Conrad? I might have just made that up. For some reason I thought his first language was Polish. That makes no sense. Jason Master says he refuses to get into a literature discussion. Alright, we're heading east. So you'll burn through supplies faster than fuel at about a 2-to-1 rate. A new smell behind the coal and oil, the green, unlikely scent of apples. Mr. Muscle says use the bag. But he uses supplies. The village green. The Nowhere Inn. You discovered a port. Oh, the port I have Avon. Exactly. Make me alt tab over and look up if Joseph Conrad's first language was English. I'll do it. Don't think I won't. XP, right? Behold a ruin of giants, gargantuan blocks jigsawed together, furred with moss and whispering with orchards. Not orchids, orchards. Chris also says I found Port Avon way faster than he did. Christopher Bustle, I'm really good at exploring. Don't know if you know that about me. A bucolic village nestles amongst them. That might be the first time in my life that I've ever said the word bucolic out loud. Smoke coils daintily from the chimneys. Chris Hornbus, oh, I was right. Sweet. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, wow. So Joseph Conrad's real name is, I'm going to attempt this, Joseph Theodore Conrad Korzeniowski. Oh, that's my best friend Christian's last name. Christian Korzeniowski. I wonder if he's related to Joseph Conrad. Jason Master says that Conrad was regarded as one of the greatest novelists to write in the English language, though he didn't speak English fluently until his 20s. And I think Master even provided a footnote for that. Where smoke coiling daintily from the chimneys, a leisurely game of cricket unfolds on the village green. Alright, you guys, I'm blaming you guys. One of you, it was probably Alex Chapman. It's always Alex Chapman. One of you made me live stream a soccer game. So now I am getting in my Steam recommendation queue, like, cricket 19, what's the name of a cricket guy? Cricket Bartlesby 19. Like the football, like Madden 19 is... So Bartlesby 19, and it's like a cricket game. Or, oh, a snooker simulator thing. Ugh, because I played it, you guys made me download and run a stupid soccer game. So now Steam thinks I like English sports. Pins. Isn't that in English, like bowling? Ugh. Master wants to know what sort of things Bloody Boobs put into my suggestions queue. Bloody Boobs might be the cause. Like, every now and then I get some weird... Although it's probably... What was that weird porn match 3 thing? I want to say something like Hot Candy. That's not right. What was that Ellen Page, Patrick Wilson movie? That was Hard Candy. What was that thing? Oh, Honey Pop, right. Honey Pop put all kinds of weird things into my Steam queue. Jason McMaster said it was Pony Carnival that made me play the soccer game. I like blaming Alex Chapman better. Let's disembark. A ramshackle dock juts into the sky beside a farmyard scattered with rusty locomotive parts, plating, piping, a chugging motor with its innards exposed. Speaking of farmyards, oh man, that Anno 1800. Ugh. That's just like sitting on a soft couch. Once you boot it up, you just don't want to get up. You're just going to be there for a while. An oily-faced, black-haired girl waves your locomotive into position. Welcome to Port Avon, she calls as you disembark. A rich knot of scents greets you. Leaves and wood smoke enriched by an infrequent but pungent intrusion of goat. Oh, McMaster says, yeah, it was Pony Carnival that voted for Bloody Boobs. Oh, I know that very well, yeah. That's exactly... Also, Pony Carnival made me play, I forget what it's called, like, Doing It with Bennett Foddy, or Getting Down with Bennett Foddy. I forgot what that stupid thing was called. That's Pony Carnival as well. But yeah, Alex Chapman made me play soccer. Excuse me, football. Port Avon welcomes new visitors, but your novelty will wear off the more time you spend there. So I think the italics are like gameplay tips. Pony Carnival, oh hello. Oh yeah, he calls it Dicked Down with Bennett Foddy. Something like that. Getting it on with, or doing it. No, what? What is it? What's the verb with which you interact with Bennett Foddy? What is it? Faffing about with Bennett Foddy. Port Avon welcomes you. Right, so you only have so much welcome to expend. Getting over it. Oh, right, because it's also, right. It's like getting over something, and literally getting over something. Right, okay, there's the wordplay. Getting over it. How can I not remember that? Port Avon spells prettily across sections of colossal drifting ruins. Its orchards bask in the evening gold light of a distant nebula. Ooh. Exploring will wear down our welcome. Here we can restore it, allowing us to stay longer. Write a port report. I'm definitely going to do that. It's how you make money. And you have to decide to whom to sell it. Binwraith, getting off that thing with Bennett Foddy. Christy Gaines fapping about. Christy Gaines faffing about. Get your mind out of the gutter. F-A-F-F. It's English for basically squandering time. Faffing. Were it not for talk of smugglers and sky beasts. Ooh, I want to fight those, because now I've got 2 forward-firing guns. I'll give those sky beasts the what for, by golly. Were it not for talk of smugglers and sky beasts, you could easily confuse this place for a village on the world you left behind. It's quite peaceful here, apart from some fuss over a newspaper delivery. The villagers frown and change the subject when asked about that. Right? Yeah, so we choose, do we want to report to the indurate veteran? No, what does that word mean? Indurate, hold on. Oh, hardened. It's fairly uncommon in modern usage. It can be traced to the Latin durare, meaning to harden, like durable, right? Indurate can be a verb, meaning to grow hard, to make unfeeling, stubborn, or obdurate. Indurate and obdurate. What's the obdurate? Huh. Alright. Yeah, you decide whether or not to report to the indurate veteran or the prudent secretary. Christy Gaines. Yeah, oh yeah, Christy Gaines. We were not. At least McMaster maybe. I think McMaster was the only one making masturbation references. We do not have enough. We need a gossip. So that's I think a crew member. Maybe it's something you buy. So we can't share gossip because we don't have a salon stewed gossip. Maybe that's. Yeah, I don't know if that's a person or an inventory item, but we don't have one. We can't host a tea party because unlocked when the Port Avon's character is preserved like a fly in amber, and we have a caddy of dried tea. How do we know Port Avon's character? I don't know, but I like the idea that it has character. Anyway, we can't do much there. Recruit a repentant devil. He's looking for passage. I think this was here last time I played as well. Did we do this? Oh, yeah, that's where we can't do anything. Pony Carnival. Is this like a JRPG where the real timiness of the exploration is not particularly important? Or are monsters chasing you and stuff? Pony Carnival, if it's like Sunless Skies, I think there are... Like, you can't just sit there and drift. You can pause the game, but if you just stand there, like, things fly around the world. In Sunless Skies, they, of course, float, they drive around the world, but, if that's what you mean, there are basically the equivalent of, I think, wandering monsters, right? And time concerns are definitely, certainly related to supplies, but you'll note this date down here. I think this is also relevant in regards to certain things at certain times. I'm assuming. You know what? I did assume. I don't know. Oh, Chris Hornbostel, yeah. So the time concerns, I'm guessing, fold in here, but it's mainly use of supplies. All right, so let's see. Utsby. Graham Greene. Oh, see, Utsby, H.P. Lovecraft using gray air. Where's that? Yeah, H.P. Lovecraft, I don't doubt. Graham Greene, in something called Reflections. Obelisks of mirror glass, as sharp as icicles, reflect the banners and trophies as they stir in the gray air and the spray of the fountains. A crystalline triumph. See, I like that. Stephen King just having a door open in a diner and gray air blows in. And here's Lovecraft's use of gray air. Yeah, you also said Edith Wharton, D.H. Lawrence, Thomas Hardy, and Emile Zola. Although the translation right. There's Graham Greene, so here's the Lovecraft use of gray air. On the right of the hole out of which they wriggled, and seen through aisles of monoliths, was a stupendous vista of Cyclopean, the only place you will see that word, Lovecraft. Utsby can probably prove me wrong there and look up other places. I associate that, what else, like non-Euclidean, the other Lovecraft, or Eldridge. Anyway, a stupendous vista of Cyclopean round towers mounting up illimitable into the gray air of inner Earth. I do kind of like that one. Children of the Nile. High five, Richard. Oh, wait, hold on. Is Richard Holt trash-talking Children of the Nile or praising it? Children of the Nile is always name-checked as a reference point in city builder conversations. After playing Anno, I was inspired to install it and try it out. Richard Holt, Children of the Nile might not be for you. Ew. Richard Holt might try Octopath Traveler. I mean, that's as JRPG as it gets. McMaster, it doesn't mean like a Cyclops. No, it means large, I know. Yeah, I don't think it has anything to do with having one eye. Cyclopses are large, by the way. They don't just have one eye. We're losing Lord Kosk with all the literature talk. He's decided to instead go to bed. Can't say I blame you. Lord King of South Carolina. Thank you. Good night. Have a great week. Enjoy your spring break. This guy, I think, is going to want a lot of money. He's looking for passage. Oh, wait. If he's looking for passage, why do I have to pay him money? He claims to be useful. He doesn't ask where you're headed. Oh, a sign-on fee. Offer him a berth. He's repentant. There can be no harm. This will give you a signaler who will increase your iron by 2, your veils by 6, and your academic affiliation by 1. I mean, I don't think we want to spend 100. He's going to take all of our money. Yeah, sorry, dude. You can wait there. And I think we are now So we have to... How do we deliver... Oh, right, we can't deliver 3 seeds because we don't have them. We can, however, and should... buy... Wait. Oh, here we go. Actually, this is weird. Could I buy 3 here and then sell them? This is a little... I wonder if this is like a failure of procedurally generated quests. An horticultural opportunity. A buoyant broker is selling sacks of verdant seeds. The flora... Why doesn't he just sell them to these people? The flora of the reach is dangerously fecund. That's a fun word. It's like bucolic. Plant a seed, water it, and give it a little light, and it'll sprout overnight. During transport, it's vital the sacks be stored in a cool, dark, dry place, or your hold is likely to become an impromptu shrubbery. Alright, we're going to buy these. And then we're going to set... Come on! Wait, what if I leave the store? I go to a different store. So, should I note this, that they're selling this for 70? Because what was it being bought for back at New Winchester? Actually, can I... If I was a game designer, I might put that... No, I can't right-click or get information or anything. Dagnabbit. That's another thing. Star Frontiers trade... No. Star Traders, right, they trade on the front. Star Traders Frontiers, so good about just letting you keep track of data and look things up. It can be a little clunky sometimes navigating the screens, but once you get used to it, it's super easy to say, oh, okay, verdant seeds are selling, or no, what was it? Indistinguishable souls selling for 70 here. What do they buy them for here? Where are they in demand? Chris Hornball, so the game will tell you specifically when something is a bargain. You don't need to note those. Wait, James Miller. Ah, James Miller got in a car wreck. I'm glad you're okay. But his daughter broke her ribs. She's getting better. Jesus, James Miller. Good Lord. Yeah, that's horrible. But I'm glad you guys... It's not worse than it was. And she's getting better. James Miller, for you, I'll read a little bit of James Joyce from Twitch. And all over the playgrounds, they were playing rounders and bowling twisters and lobs. Exactly. Those are British games. That's like cricket. Rounders. And all over the playgrounds, they were playing rounders and bowling twisters and lobs. And from here and from there came the sounds of the cricket bats through the soft gray air. No, that's awesome because of just how lyrical that sounds. And from here and from there came the sounds of the cricket bats through the soft gray air. That's poetry. See, that's beautiful. Stephen King wishes that he could write 1% that well. They said, pick, pack, pock, puck, little drops of water in a fountain slowly falling in the brimming bowl. Oh my god, okay, I'm going to go read some Joyce now instead of this. You know, fail better is great, but that makes me just want to crack open some James Joyce. Master's typing Irish. Rounders and bowling and twisters and lobs is Irish? Just assuming that was some English game thing. I don't pretend to know, you know, once something, whatever sports the Queen has sanctioned for her subjects, yeah, I don't pretend to be able to distinguish amongst them or what particular little subdivisions they go to. I don't even know what Rounders is. Rounders is poker. It's Matt Damon and John Malkovich and Edward Norton. That's what Rounders is. Oh, Joyce is Irish. No, I know Joyce is Irish. Right, yeah. Chris Horn also says Rounders is closer to baseball than cricket is. Isn't cricket just T-ball? Like here in the U.S., T-ball is where you just prop the ball up on a stick. It just sits there, and a little kid swings at it. That's how cricket works, right? Master says Rounders is a bat and ball game played between 2 teams. Yeah, baseball, McMaster. Jason Master says Rounders is Irish. See, we have an exclamation point here as well. I guess it means, oh, that means there are quests. This says to me there are quests available, but I guess it means there are quests to go there. Alright, why aren't we playing this game already? Okay, so now can I sell the seeds for the quest if I go back to the bazaar? Yeah, look. No. And then can we buy more? Hold on, wait a minute. Look at all the money we're going to get. Oh, but then we can't buy them. But this gets us money immediately. It's not like... Yeah, look at this. Look at what a profit we're making. I'm going to do this. Got some XP. Oh, my welcome went up. They love me here. The vicar's almost excessive in his gratitude. Ha! I shan't be the laughing stock of the village this year. I shall put even the carpenter's marrows to shame. Thank you for recognizing the importance of our little competition. All right, well, now where am I going to get the seeds for Magdalene? Can I buy back those seeds, please? All right, we'll find someplace else to sell seeds. Our Z-Bat, whatever our bat found this. So let's go see what's up north. I feel like we're okay. Like 2 canisters of fuel. Like, what is it going on? Looks like it's lasting for a while. I think I'm okay, right? Oh, ding, by the way. Oh, look at this. Yeah, so I saw this before. I choose a facet. Like, they're cards that flip up, and it looks like each of these is a step in me building a character. The first one was choosing that I was a Zailer. And a smuggler origin. Yeah. So now, whichever one of these I pick, and I think they give you a choice. Yeah, look. It's going to improve your stats, and it's going to put another little token in, I guess called a facet, in your career. So, when you level up, so we can take... So Scars gives you iron. Okay, so I'm guessing like a primary stat gets +5 and a secondary +3. Oh, and it even shows you here. Okay, it's right here. I don't have to click on it. Which one do we want? Let me look at my stats. Oh, look at this blimp. Look at this little dirigible. Hey, little fella. Let's go with... I mean, we're strong and sneaky. I guess let's go with Veils. Wait, I want to see what this thing is. Is it hostile? Well, not anymore. I mean, it came at me. It really deserved that. The Cantankereye are lumbering, half-fossilized isopods that'll attack anything they disapprove of. Given that they're very ancient and murderously grumpy, that means almost everything. There was a little red hemisphere, like a little red arc appeared pointing towards the Cantankereye. So I think that meant it was okay to shoot it. Given that they're very ancient, murderously grumpy, that means almost everything they disapprove of. The defeated Cantankereye has been blasted to smithereens. Only a cloud of stony chunks remains. We can disperse the rubble. The fragments would be a menace to passing engines. Clear it out of the way as a service to other skyfarers, and we will lose terror if we do that. This is our terror meter. We don't have a lot of terror. We're untroubled. Or we can sift through the pulverized rubble. We're going to do that. Maybe find something of scientific interest. It's going to be a mirrors check. 24% chance of succeeding. That's not very good. Or leave it untouched. Let's do this. Let's sift through the pulverized rubble looking for an uncanny specimen. Ding! I got an uncanny specimen. A prospective exhibit. You venture out in your sky suit and begin picking through the fragments. Your patience is rewarded. Here's a stony organ still palpitating with stubborn life. Let's see what that is. Okay, where's my possessions, right? Oh wait, no. Some celestial abhorrence, probably dead. You can acquire these. Okay. I guess later I'll figure out what I can do with them. Cool. Oh, there's my port report. There's that black box. Oh, I could have investigated this. Yeah, I can do that. I wonder if I skipped something. Before I could have opted to crack it open or sell it. I'd probably do that in a port. All right, we are looking for to find out what this is, and then we will. And actually, then I don't know what we're doing. I mean, exploring. And we've killed a cantankereye. Oh, ding again. Oh no, right. I haven't picked this. So we're going for Veil. So we did a spell in prison. The judge, Stonyface, condemned you to New Newgate, the stalactite prison of old London. Its dark was thick as tar, its cells were small as pantries. How did you spend your days there? Well, I either served my time quietly, or better the wolf than the lamb. Oh my god, I've been doing this more than an hour? Yikes. McMaster says they made a mod for American Truck Simulator that adds multiplayer. He said we should fire up a trucking convoy. How do you mod multiplayer into a game? Sounds like quite the accomplishment. Christy Gaines thought that Jason McMaster was Canadian. Oh, no, James Miller. I thought James Miller was Canadian. James Miller is in Texas. James Miller, I don't know if you're a Texan. I'm a Texan by birth. But then my parents had better sense and they left to Arkansas. I don't know if that's a upgrade or a downgrade. Actually, it's probably like a lateral move from Texas to Arkansas. Euro Truck Simulator has a multiplayer mod as well, Jason McMaster says. That's crazy. Let's see. So we can get, for our secondary bonus, irons or health. Or heart. Yeah, I guess it's health. Let's do this. Better the wolf than the lamb. You ruled your corridor like a robber king. Ugh. It's not a very lawful good playthrough. Even the guards knew better than to push you. Your punishments were less than you deserved. Let's do this one. You notched each dismal day into the cell wall. You steered clear of the monsters and the meek they preyed upon. You dreamed of the day of your release. Let's do that one. See, now look, we've got a facet. Okay, let's see what's up for. Wait, eastbound and down, what about it? Oh shoot, there's another one of those jerks. Yeah, take that, cantankereye. Can we at least get XP? Wait, what? A spiteful gust. A sudden wind drives the jagged cantankereye fragments against your hull. They crack against your windows, drum on your plating. Gritty particulates clog your pistons. When you dig the shards free, you find some of them gleam with veins of semi-precious stones. Alright, we took 2 points of damage. Oh, I didn't repair this. So we took 2 more points of damage, down to 18 from 20. And we found $3. $3 in there. 3 space bucks. Well, that was a crappy game. Oh, look at here. Is that what the question mark is? Yeah. So we can mine this later on. So if we had a mining drill, then I guess it stays on the map. No, put that. I need an indicator there. I want it to remember that that's there. Seriously, map? Seriously. Right clicking, I'm left clicking, I'm scrolling, I'm middle clicking. Come on. Something engraved, something that glistens. Yeah, why is it? Rage uninstall. There's not like a new season of Eastbound and Down or something, is there? If there is, I demand to know. That's never bad. Oh, we've gone a little farther. We're heading back. So, these little things down here, once they empty out, this number decrements and then the bar fills up. So you might think, oh my god, Tom, you're almost out of supplies and fuel. No, I've got plenty. Wait, what's it? Jesus. What's this about zombies? Christy Gaines. Jason Master, you need to get Tom on a good stream with DayZ. That looks stupid crazy. So many zombies. DayZ. DayZ only's got like a couple zombies at a time, doesn't it? The World War Z game. I think that's what you're thinking of. Christy Games. Yeah, World War Z. Yeah. No, I love the amounts of zombies they get in World War Z. Even I've only played the very first level. There's like 4 levels. There's 4 cities. I think the first one was New York. And yeah, they clearly show off with, hey, look how many zombies we can do. Pretty cool, huh? Lights in the distance. Stoker begins to sing a ballad about the chimneys of New Winchester. Oh, right. That's quite the distance. Should we swing up here and explore? Pony Carl, this music is neat. It really is awesome music, Pony Carl. It's been pretty much my go-to soundtrack. That and Below, the soundtrack from Below. Those have been my go-to soundtracks for playing board games lately. Send up the bat again. Ew, that's a fair amount of supplies. That bat eats a lot. What a little pig. Alright, the bat found. Wait, I thought it said it found something. Well, oh, I think it was this, or did I already know that was there? That's gonna drive me crazy. What could it be? James wants to know. Oh, look, we found Reichstead. Yeah, the movie was World War Z as well. Damon Lindelof. Ugh. Actually, who directed that? I know Lindelof wrote some of it. Someone look up who directed World War Z. The taste of smog, the sound of iron on iron. This is an archer going. Oh, wait. Alright, so here are the 2 factions. Victory Hall, and then up here is where basically the colonists live. Oh, no, Company House is London. Victory Hall is basically America. Actually, it's not that simple. I don't mean to reduce it to that. But the Independence faction is Victory Hall, and the Royalist faction is Company House, where we are. And we're doing the lawful good playthrough, not chaotic good. Also, says I'm on my last barrel of fuel. No, I've got one more, right? Oh, well. Yeah, I've got one more. My last barrel, this would be 0. But you're right. I get what you're saying. There's no puzzle. I probably should spend some of my filthy lucre on fuel. Don't in Sunless Skies, don't. Like, doesn't a guy give you free fuel or something if you give him reports? I forget how that worked. Actually, there were all sorts of weird little exceptions, narrative little exceptions to the economy. Look at this art back here. It's awesome. Alright, so here, and I can decide to give my reports to the Royalists or the Independence faction, and Sunless Skies implies that, and I trust it, that it changes certain things on the map based on who you support, which is super cool. Like there's not a civil war, but there's tension between the 2 factions, and whichever faction you support, you can have it pull ahead. And I don't know how it manifests itself in terms of gameplay, but it sounds really cool. And this being the lawful good playthrough, naturally we're going to be pro-London, pro-Mother England, pro-home country, old world, and support the Company House. So there you go. This is just a look at the very first. You know, if you were playing this in earnest and not me babbling about James Joyce, you would get. This is the first, I don't know, 10 minutes really, and I've stretched it out over an hour. And of course, there is so much more. I'll also let me show you this. Let's see. I don't want to. Yeah, I can escape out of here. Yeah. So let me show you this. So here's where we've explored, and look when you zoom out, and you're like, oh, that's a small map. But wait, that's just the reach. So we came from Blue Kingdom, and that's where Captain Whitlock got that obelisk / coffin thing that we don't know what it is. She got it in Blue Kingdom. This is the reach. And here, oh, Eleutheria is a whole other world, and then Blue Kingdom is a whole other world, smaller. and then Albion, which from the main screen there are patch notes, which are kind of spoilers. I just glance over them because it references things that I don't want to know about. Apparently this was quote-unquote reworked in the recent patch. Not sure what to make of that. And then we're back to the Reach. The Reach, I think, is like the frontier. Hornbostel. Last thing I need is you to show me another game I really want to play. That's the problem with Request Wednesday. It's when I like things for Request Wednesday, that's way more difficult than when I just hate something. You vote for Bloody Boobs, yeah, I'll play that for 15 minutes and I never have to look back. You make me play something like Devil May Cry 5 or Sunless Skies, and I'm like, ugh, Dragon's Dogma. Thanks, jerks. Thanks for giving me something else to pull my attention in a different direction. Someone also says they have completely rebuilt Albion and it's better now, and he apologizes. Pony Carnival claims I played Bloody Boobs for longer than 15 minutes. It did feel like about 3 or 4 hours, didn't it, Pony Carnival? 16 minutes, McMaster says. So, on Friday, what am I going to play? Is it going to be Anno? Will it be more of this? Will I go back to Dragon's Dogma? Will I finally play another level in Devil May Cry 5? All of those I would totally be into. What about Guild Wars 2? I know you guys missed that. We'll find out. Christy Gaines, in all fairness, you did play Dragon's Dogma a ton. So Christy Gaines, I don't know if I mentioned this on the stream. I tweeted a poll. Is that how kids say it? I put a poll on Twitter. I polled Twitter. I tweet polled. There's a word for that. Whether or not I should finish, because I just wait, rather than being pulled in all these different directions, and we're all like this, right? There's 20 different games we all want to play, and we all fool ourselves and think, okay, I'm just going to focus on one. But that's not the kind of folks that we are, and I'm pretty sure that's true of you guys as much as it's true of me. So you constantly fool yourself, and you're like, okay, I'm just going to knuckle down, I'm going to finish this one game. So I put up a poll on Twitter saying, which one of these should I finish first? And they were Devil May Cry 5, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Dragon's Dogma, what was the fourth one? Oh, and Resident Evil 2. Because all of those I really enjoy, and I'd love to see through. And there's like 100 votes. Tied, neck and neck, the same number of votes. I think they both got 30% of the votes. Dragon's Dogma and Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which really surprised me. So that meant, thanks Twitter, you were no help. It was a tie. It was basically the Al Gore Bush election all over again. So I'm waiting on a decision from the Supreme Court. Ootsby quoting, seagulls coursed the gray air overhead. The calendar said it was still summer, but summer ended here. I would have gone with seagulls coursed the gray sky overhead. Although where else is the sky going to be? I drew the moist gray air as deep as I could, taking it in like food. Who is that, Ootsby? Who wrote that one? Yeah, Hazy Silhouette, hanging Chad again. That Chad guy. Thank you guys for watching. I'm Tom Chick. I do this Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 6 p.m. Pacific. I'll be back Friday. Everyone have a great week. Enjoy your spring break. And wish me luck as I try to figure out what to live stream on Friday. Cheers.